What I'm saying is I want you to get started, practice excellent, think bigger, reach further, dig deeper, and live from there. Live from that. Live Life Mogul. All right, so hey, it's Javet, the Mogulist. This is the Live Life Mogul podcast. First season, first episode. And what I want to do on this episode is really introduce myself and give you a clue as to when, where, why, what, and how I got here. Who am I? What do I do? What has transpired? A lot of you know me, and the majority of you know me from CulSire, and you've been asking me what happened to CulSire. Where is CulSire? Are you still doing CulSire? And I want to give you an update from the beginning to today, where we are and how we got here, so that you really know my story. And you know, I really want you to understand who I am. So I did start with CulSire. CulSire was my baby. I birthed CulSire on March 15th, 2014. And literally, that was probably one of my biggest, most precious accomplishments outside of giving birth to my son, right? I started CulSire because I had a desire to speak positive energy and motivation into the Black community. That's literally what I wanted to do with CulSire. That's the whole reason why I started it. CulSire was created on the premise of culture and desire. And I created it to be something positive that our ancestors would be proud of, right? The cultures and desires from our past, our present, and our future. You know, we desire unity. We desire strong families. We desire respect. We desire to feel good. We desire to be represented positively, right? And so that's literally why I created CulSire, so that it would be a platform where people can come and feel good about themselves. And when we launched CulSire, we had such a resounding support cry that it just took off super quick, super fast, and it did really good. I'm sorry, Instagram. And it did really, really good, really, really fast. And so with that, what happened was we did a $10,000 crowdfunding campaign. We raised our $10,000 in 30 days, and that gave us some really good notoriety. Dr. Boyce saw it, and he tweeted it. Cheryl, I can't think of her name. I think it's Cheryl Ralph, the lady with the really pretty smile. She tweeted it and saw it. Samaya Reese tweeted it and saw it. The crowdfunding campaign just took off, and it gave us some really good notoriety that it then brought a lot of traffic to the website. So the CulSire website did 3 million page views from 1 million people in 217 countries and territories in less than 7 months. And so it was just super great. Like it was one of the best experiences with regards to a launch that I ever had with regards to success. And so with that success that was happening with CulSire, I ended up starting to be pulled in different directions. People started wanting to know, how did you raise $10,000 in 30 days? How did you get 1 million people to visit your website? And I started to do more teaching, more coaching, more training. And that kind of started pulling me away from CulSire a lot, actually, to be honest with you. But that's where my team stepped in. And so I had people that literally reached out to me and was like, I see what you're doing with CulSire. I think it's really great. I want to help you. How can I be a part of this? How can I help you reach your goals and do what you're doing to be successful? And so my girlfriend, Angela Childs, joined on as my VP, as well as my VA, my virtual assistant. So she made sure that the business kept moving when I couldn't. And then Jamie Robinson joined on as our CMO for marketing, and she made sure all of our graphics looked good. And that is literally how CulSire was able to flourish and do well and do good for all of those years. But as I started being pulled in these different directions, what started to be more profitable was the coaching business. So that's when you saw me do the Mogul Institute, which is where I have my online business school. And I had to create the Mogul Institute because I was starting to coach a lot more and I was starting to take on more clients. But I found that I was answering a lot of the same questions over and over again. How do you start a business? How do you raise money for a business? How do I do my marketing? How do I do my social media? What's a social media strategy? How do I build a website? I started answering a lot of those questions over and over again. And I was like, the process is the same. So let me just create these courses and classes and put them online. And that's literally how the Mogul Institute was created. From there, people just, when I became in high demand, speaking, coaching, teaching, and that was something that I could measure. I could measure how many people I've helped write a book. I can measure how many people I helped start a business. I can measure how many people I helped do their social media. It was measurable to me. And everybody looked like me. They were Black. And so I felt like I was really in my purpose. And that is why I think some of which CulSire kind of fell a little bit to the wayside. And the Mogul Institute kind of started picking up, started having more traction, started being the thing that I led with. Well, during that time, CulSire was still up and running. Me and my team were going through a process of rebooting it and having the website redone. And I hired this company outside of the States to rebuild the website, to rebuild CulSire. And they did not do a good job. They did not do a good job, so bad to the point that it took almost a year and a half for me to get it back. And when I got it back, it was in such bad shape. It was in such horrible shape that myself and my team, we decided to take it down. And so once we took it down, we were really in this place of what are we going to do with CulSire? My whole intentions for CulSire when I first launched it was to be a hub of Blackness, where you can go and be inspired, where you can find Black businesses, where you can be motivated, where you can learn. I really wanted it to be a place of connection. And I felt as if I felt as if we as a team created something that was beautiful and that made people feel good, but it didn't necessarily make people do good. It didn't teach anything. It didn't train anything. It didn't leave you better than it did when you actually came. And so that was my angst with CulSire. And for those of you that have businesses, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you create a business or you write a book or there's something that you birth and then it doesn't quite go in the direction that you want it to go, that's basically where I've been at with CulSire for a little while. And so I had a come to Jesus moment where I was like, how can I bring everything that I love together? How can I still impact, influence, and speak into my community, teach, train, motivate, encourage, inspire, but make it measurable? What can I do that has an action? What can I do where I can see people are getting what I'm offering and they're applying it and they're better for it, right? They're doing better in their work. They're being promoted. They're starting businesses. They're writing books. They're losing weight. Their confidence is going up. They're traveling. Whatever the case might be, everybody's position in life and what they want out of life is different. So it doesn't have to look the same for everybody. And so that is really where Life Mogul was birthed. Okay, so you know me as Mogul in Training, and that came about because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with my entrepreneur journey. All I knew was I wanted to be good. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to practice Black excellence. I wanted to be resilient. I didn't want to take no for an answer. I wanted to be tenacious. That's really all I knew. And so that's where the hashtag Mogul in Training came about. I'm not quite sure the direction that I'm going, but I'm going to be the best at it. I'm going to train to be a mogul. And so when I talk about being a mogul, it's not saying that I want you to be Oprah. It's not saying that I want you to be Jay-Z, because they're, 10, 15, 20 years ahead in the game. What I'm saying is I want you to get started. What I'm saying is I want you to practice excellence. What I'm saying is I want you to think bigger. What I'm saying is I want you to reach further. What I'm saying is I want you to dig deeper to your best possibility, your best capability, your best opportunities, and live from there, live from that. To me, that's what it means to be mogul. It means to start. It means to not take no for an answer. It means to change the world. And for you, it might not be change the world. It might be change your family and leave your family better off than it was before you, right? To me, that's what it means to be a mogul. Somebody who has their mind set on being great so that you can underwrite your legacy. And that legacy may be your children's 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 children. So that's literally where Life Mogul was birthed. So as we go forward, if you don't hear me talk about CulSire as much, if you don't hear me talk about Mogulvation as much, a lot of the majority of which you will hear me talk about is going to be Life Mogul. And it is my motto for my life. It's what I talk about in the morning. Living Life Mogul incorporates the Mogul Institute because I will still continue to teach and train and coach. That is still a huge part of me. I am still influencing and communicating and an advocate for the Black community. That's not changing. But I want it to be all about living my life that way. And so any person who is connected to me, who wants to elevate their life, their spirituality, their health, their fitness, their finances, their career, their business, then I'm inviting you to join me on this Live Life Mogul experience. Living Life Mogul incorporates the Mogul Tribe. If you're not in the Mogul Tribe, it's a Facebook group. It's called Live Life Mogul Tribe. The Mogul Tribe has been around for, I don't know, 4 years, maybe 3-4 years. We've been around for a minute. The podcast, the Live Life Mogul podcast, this is the very first episode that I'm recording right now. And again, I really just wanted this first episode of the podcast to go back to the beginning and tell you about why I started CulSire, how I got to the Mogul Institute and being the Mogulist and coaching, and then how I got here to Live Life Mogul. We still have the Mogul Institute. I'm not going to tell you to live life mogul and not give you the tools to do it. So the Mogul Institute is still there. So if you need to learn how to start your business, run your business, operate your business, grow and sustain your business, if you need personal development, career coaching, the Mogul Institute encompasses all of that. I didn't name it a business school because it's bigger than business. It's about everything and anything and or area where you want to be a mogul. And to me, you can be a wife mogul, a student mogul, an entrepreneur mogul. You can be a woman mogul. What do you want to where do you want to operate in excellence? And wherever that is, that's where you mogul. Okay. And so I still have the Mogul Institute. I have the Mogul in Training membership, which is where we will literally meet on a bi-weekly basis. I have 3 different things that I offer through there. I have the Mogul in Training membership, which is just $49 a month. We meet on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month to talk about business. I have Mogul in Training coaching, which is where we specifically, which is different from the membership. So the membership is me teaching, training, showing. And then the coaching is where we're talking about your business specifically. So coaching is a little bit more specific to you and your business, whereas the membership is more for people who are getting started in business in years 1 through 5, who still are tweaking and trying to figure things out. And then I have Mogul in Training one-on-one coaching, which is just me and you, and I'm digging into your business. So I have different things because I remember when I first started on my mogul journey, and nobody was out there giving me the information that I needed. So I still have those things available. The Mogul store will be coming back. I've added some new products to the Mogul store, some journaling. I have a candle company that I'm starting right now. I have a tea company that I'm in the process of launching. So those things will be coming back in the Mogul store. And the Me Retreat, which is our Mogul Empowerment Retreat, will be back. I do not think I'm going to do it this year in the way that I've done it previous years, meaning a 3-day in-person event here in Phoenix. I believe that I'm going to do it as an online summit this year. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do because it's July and it's in September. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be some type of something online. But I definitely wanted to launch my podcast today. I wanted the Live Life Mogul podcast to launch today. And I wanted to really just leave it all in the line with how we got here, what happened with CulSire, where CulSire is at, what I plan to do with it in the future, how I got here to Live Life Mogul with regards to the Mogul Institute. And going forward, this is what you're going to see from me. One, the Live Life Mogul podcast is going to be all about practicing being a mogul and living your life that way. And so we will have people come on and talk about business, things you can do in marketing to be a mogul, things that you can do with your website to be a mogul. We'll talk about passive income. We'll talk about websites. We're going to talk about all things that have to do with business so that you can be a mogul right now. Okay. We're going to talk about life, how to be a mogul in your life, your mindset, how you think, what you do. We're going to talk about how to be a mogul in your fitness. We're going to have to talk about how to be a mogul in your finances. Like every place that you want to practice excellence, we're going to talk about it. So Live Life Mogul podcast is not going to be all business. It's going to be holistic. So you as a human person, as a human being, areas that you need to be a mogul in, areas that you need to excel in, areas that you need to elevate in, areas that you need to be motivated in. That is what the Live Life Mogul podcast is going to be about. Some Thursdays you might get me by myself. Other Thursdays you might get me with the guest, okay? Because I don't know everything. I'm not the end all be all. I'm not the queen bee. I don't know everything about everything. So I will definitely be bringing in guests. So if you have a story, a testimony, or you think that you have an area of motivation that people need to know about, or a business, or if you know somebody that you think would be great to be interviewed or that has a story or motivation, let me know, because this is for us. This is about the community. I probably won't have big time celebrities on here because I feel like there are enough people in our community that are doing great things and big things that don't get an opportunity to be showcased. And that's how I want to use my platform. I want to use my platform to show everyday people that are living life like a mogul, that are going against the odds, that are pushing through, that are being resilient. And I want to show those individuals who started from nothing and now they have $1 million business, or, they've done something spectacular with their life. So if you know somebody, or if you're that person, let me know. You can apply to be on the podcast if you go to bit.ly, and I'll put it, go to bit.ly, which is bit.ly/Live Life Mogul. Okay, so that's bit.ly/Live Life Mogul. And when you get there, there's going to be a scheduler, and that is how you get on my calendar to be interviewed for the podcast. Again, it can be yourself if you are a business owner who's doing really good in business and you've pushed through and are excelling and you like to share your story. You can make a recommendation for somebody that you would like to see me interview, or you can ask me a question. Go to bit.ly, livelifemogul.com. If you have any questions for me specifically, I'm gonna have to get a new email address because I don't want to just be giving out my my business email address online every week. So I'm going to get I think I have one that says ask@LeneJavet.com. I think I already set it up, but I'm not sure. By the time this podcast goes into syndication, I will make sure that ask@LeneJavet.com is set up by the time this podcast actually goes live. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and conclude my very first podcast of the Live Life Mogul podcast. For those of you that are actually listening to me live, that are on Facebook or Instagram, I appreciate you. I love you. For those of you that may come back and hear this later or see this later or find it on the actual podcast once we get it up and moving, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my journey and hear how I got here to living life like a mogul. One day I'm going to tell you guys why I call myself the Mogulist, but it really is just a transition from mogul in training to the Mogulist. But I will tell you this, I'm still a mogul in training. You will still see me #mogul in training because I don't think you ever stop training. I don't think you ever stop learning. Oprah is a mogul and she still loses billions of dollars. She still loses millions of dollars. She's still training. She's still learning. Diddy's still learning. Jay-Z's still learning. You don't stop training to be a mogul. All that happens is you get to another level and then you have to figure out how to work on that level. And then you get to another level and you have to figure out how to work on that level. So as long as you don't stop training, your mogul will keep on growing. You'll keep on elevating. You'll keep being motivated. Okay. And so with that, you will still see me #mogul in training. I would like to invite you to train to be a mogul with me. Again, you can join the Mogul in Training membership. You can join our free Facebook group, which is Live Life Mogul Tribe. And until I see you guys again, thank you for joining and listening to the first ever Live Life Mogul podcast. Peace. What I'm saying is I want you to get started, practice excellence, think bigger, reach further, dig deeper, and live from there, live from that. Live Life Mogul